What's going on, brothers? This is Matt Deegs here. Appreciate you guys for dropping by. And patch 12 is officially out. Okay, officially out. If you have not updated your game, go update that now because it's officially live. All right, guys. I'm going to be giving you my initial thoughts on the Techmarine. All right, the pros, the cons, what I like, what I don't like, what I hope changes, what I hope stays. I'll be giving you my thoughts on the new Omnicine axe, the heroic variant, the new heavy bolt rifle heroic variant that just came out with this patch. I'll be giving you my thoughts on the servo gun, this Tarantula Sentry Gun, and I'm also going to be putting. It's going to be a long video, brothers. I'm going to be putting a full gameplay of the new operation, which I actually really liked. Again, I'll be giving you my review a little later on in this video, so stick around, guys. But let's get into it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's jump in. All right, brother, so I'm just going to kind of lay out my thoughts while the new operation is in the background, so you can kind of get my opinion and you can watch the new operation at the same time. So again, guys, my initial thoughts are based on literally two gameplays, two runs with the Techmarine. So these are my very fresh initial thoughts. So again, these thoughts and opinions can change over time. Especially as I upgrade my perk tree, obviously my opinions will change. So again, take it with a grain of salt, but these are my initial thoughts. So my the first impressions, the first thing that stood out to me immediately was the servo gun. I really like the servo gun. I like the way you can activate it and, it just auto locks onto targets while you're still, free to fire and fight. That's a really cool mechanic that actually feels satisfying to use in the thick of combat. And that's not something we've ever had before. And I love the freedom it gives you, truly, I do. You still feel active while it's doing its thing. Another thing I really like right off the bat with the servo gun is that you can perform executions while the servo gun is still firing. That was strangely satisfying. Like you're both this heavy gunner and this giant power axe murderer at the same time. And I really found that cool. Okay, so now let's get into the Tarantula Sentry Guns. Now, the Sentry Guns are great conceptually, but their placement isn't always optimal. I don't know if you guys found that to be the same as well. Sometimes you find them and they just don't cover the angle you hoped, or they're not in the right spot. They're just not placed in the most advantageous areas. So, to me, I like the concept. I think it's going to work great in siege mode. They're really powerful. Again, I like the idea, and they can work on it and they can build on it. However, again, I just found the placements of them to be in less advantageous spots. Like, for example, right here, I already killed all the enemies. It's great that there's a sentry gun and it's going to kill a little, chaos cultists, one or two of them, but really, when I needed it the most in later waves or later parts of this operation, there was none to be found. So I just found them to be in weird spots. But again, I do like the concept, and I think it's going to work great in siege mode. One other thing, guys, I don't know, you'll be able to see it in a little later on in the operation, but on this run specifically, I also noticed this weird bug where after activating a Tarantula Sentry, it only happened once, but I was almost glitched and couldn't move for like 5 to 10 seconds. You'll see it later on in this gameplay. Not a huge deal, but definitely something that's worth pointing out, especially in time parts of missions where being able to move immediately matters. Again, I was not being attacked, so I don't know if that would affect my health when I was in that locked position, but maybe just a bug for the developers to look at. Again, not a big deal. Just wanted to point that out if any other of you brothers experienced that as well. But let's continue on what my thoughts are on the Omnicine axe. I'm pretty sure you guys are all interested to hear my thoughts on that. All right, so the Omnicine axe. This is another big part of the new Techmarine class. Now, here's what I like about it. I like the Omnicine Rush. I actually find that incredibly cool to be able to just sprint and use the point end of the Omnicine axe and just stab into an enemy. And I actually find it pretty interesting, guys, because you're at an increased pace. You're at an increased speed. You're sprinting. I never tested it out, but I'm very curious to see how long you can sprint for. But anyways, let's continue, because I already have ideas on how we can speed run missions and see how fast we can speed run through missions. But anyways, that's for another topic. But to be completely fair, I do find it a bit clunky and a bit slow right off the bat. I am using the heroic variant, so there is a little bit less cleaving potential than the relic fencing variants, because again, the heroic version is fencing, so you can only compare it, logically to the relic fencing variants, right? It does feel a bit slow and clunky. However, it's fair because this is a dual-handed weapon, right? For the most part, although he's holding it now with one hand, to do those big swipes takes, a little more effort than it would, with a simple power axe or a power sword, right? So I completely understand that. And again, it's just my opinion, guys, but I do find it a bit slow. I do like one of the moves. I forget the name. I believe it happens after a big overhead hand strike where the axe gets kind of stuck in the ground. You build up an electric charge and you pop that right up with an upwards momentum. Not only are you getting an electric burst of power, but you're going to get that upwards attack, almost stabbing them in the chin. And I actually really, really like that. That was a very cool move. You'll probably see me here doing it oftentimes in this run, but I actually found that incredibly well. And I apologize, guys, for my gameplay. This is the first time playing with the Techmarine, so I'm incredibly rusty. And again, chaos spawns. So you guys know. But overall, I do like it. The clunkiness is to be expected because it is a two-handed weapon, so it is to be expected. I'm excited to see some of the perks and how they would increase the movement speed, because I already kind of looked into the perk trees, specifically the weapon perk tree and the Techmarine perk tree itself, and you can see that there are quite a bit of perks that increase the movement speed. So again, this is my initial thoughts, but I will be giving you, my secondary thoughts when everything's fully fledged and I have my full perk tree already in place and my Omnicine axe updated and upgraded all the way. So again, stay tuned for that. Now, before we get into my thoughts on this new operation, just my overall take. Again, this is my initial thoughts, guys. I'm still working through my thoughts and ideas, so I just wanted to get it out there, and then obviously we'll work on it and give you a fully fledged opinion in the months to come, right? When my perk tree is fully maxed out. But overall, I think the Techmarine adds something fresh and interesting to the roster. The servo gun, I think the servo gun is the highlight of the new Techmarine class. I love it. The servo gun is fun. The sentry turrets are a neat idea, and I think it's going to work great in siege mode. The new abilities feel distinct from what any other class has had so far, but there's still room for optimization, at least in my opinion, guys. Better sentry placement, smoother melee flow, and honestly, more customization options would go a long way. So I'm personally excited to put more time into the Techmarine and refine a build that feels great from the top to bottom. But at launch, it definitely feels like it has that cool but slightly rough around the edges vibe. But overall, guys, I love it. Overall, I love it. Out of 10, if I were to give it a out of 10 rating, I'm at again, my perks are not fully fledged out, so this is a rating at no perks and barely any gameplay. But again, if I were to give it out of 10, I'm giving it a solid 7. I find it fun, but needs some work. Okay, guys, so now here are my thoughts on the new operation. Overall, I really liked it. I like the open worldness of it. I found that there was just so many little nooks and crannies that I wanted to discover and I wanted to explore, but I wanted to keep it a little more streamlined for you guys because, you know, I don't want to waste too much of your time. But I do like that aspect, and I know a lot of us in the community have been asking for a little more of like an open world. Sorry guys, on a quick pause, you can see here in the gameplay, I'm going for the non-heroic version just to see if it plays a little differently, but it does not. It's very, very similar. It's very similar. So anyways, let's continue on the operation. Yeah, like I said, we in the community have been saying that we want a little more of an open world feel to the maps, to the operations, and you're getting this with you're getting that with this, definitely. I was looking around for the gene seed, however, I could not find it. Again, I'll probably do a deep dive and find out all the locations for you guys, but again, that will take some time to discover. However, again, I do like the open worldness of it. I do like that Vultus is back. I do like to see I love playing with the Dreadnought. It just gives me goosebumps. So I love that portion of it. It was interesting to see the Helldrake back. And when Vultus slapped the shit out of the Helldrake, that was the most intense moment. But again, you'll probably see that a little later on, so spoilers for that. He slaps the shit out of it. The new stim pack, restorative stims, they're interesting. They build up your health slowly over time, so I found that a bit odd. I'd rather just use stim packs. I'll probably just be a regular stim pack guy. If I find these and they're the only option, then that's it, right? I'll use it, obviously, but I like just the normal stim pack. Pops your health, you're able to get it back immediately, and you're good to go, right? But let's continue, guys. So this area right here, I actually found very cool. I am a big lover of like last stand moments, hold the ground moments. I loved it. I loved this portion right here. And with the tanks, it just goosebumps, pure goosebumps, brothers. And shout out to the Cadians, shout out to the Imperial Guard for having no fear. Just holding the line with my fellow, Space Marines, and again showing no fear. Absolutely amazing. So really cool area right here. Now, kind of right off the bat, I did find that this mission was on the longer side, which honestly, I'm happy about, guys. I'm happy about. I like longer missions. The shorter operations are always great to kind of, farm XP. You can run them over and over again, right? Spam those. But overall, I like this mission. I like that it was a good blend of last stand moments. We had Vultus. We had hold the line moments. I like that there was tanks involved, Cadians involved. I always like playing with the Imperial Guard. So I really liked that they kind of blended all of our favorite things into one operation. Throwing the Helldrake in, the Dreadnought slapping the Helldrake, which you'll see again later on in this video. But what I think I liked the most was just a short, brief period at the absolute end of it. Again, you'll see at the very end, you feel free to fast forward if you want, but you'll see at the end that when we place all the bombs, a little bit of spoiler, guys, here, a little bit of spoiler warning, right? If you don't want to know about it, maybe skip this part, but at the end, when you place all the bombs and you're taking out the cathedral, your two teammates, your two Space Marines, and the Dreadnought were outside of the cathedral doors, and we're just firing, and you see that it almost feels like the last stand moment in the campaign when Titus is holding the banner, and he says, "For the Primarch," right? Oh man, it felt like that, and that was not long enough. I wanted that to be a little longer, because I found that moment where you're just holding the line with your brothers, and the Cadians are inside sacrificing their life, and you see a freaking hell brute come out of the chaos portal, and you're just firing, but then it ends, right? And I like that. I love that concept. That was such a great moment, but it literally lasted like 10 seconds. So again, I would like to see that last a little longer. Overall, I really like this operation. I'm excited to play it again, explore it a little more, really kind of discover and explore all the little nooks and crannies of this area, discover where all the gene seeds are, the Guardian relics, and so on and so forth. But overall, great job, Saber, great job, Focus. Great operation. Again, few improvements could have made this truly epic, but overall it hit all the the tropes that we love to see, and I'll give it a good 8 out of 10. So there you go, guys. Those are my initial thoughts on the Techmarine and the new operation, Disruption. Again, this is just my initial thoughts. I'll be giving you my full-fledged opinion later on when I fully upgrade the perk tree, fully upgrade the Omnicine axe with all the perks, play around with it, and find the best build for me. But overall, I give the Techmarine a solid 7 or 8 out of 10. Again, some things can be reworked. I really love the servo gun. I like that you can shoot and execute at the same time. Tarantula Sentry Guns are a great concept, but I think it needs a little more, a little bit of a rework and to be placed in certain areas. I like the power of it. Hopefully they don't nerf it, but again, you know what usually happens. They usually nerf, but anyways, guys, again, just my opinion. I want to hear your opinion. Let me know down below what your initial thoughts are. And again, don't worry, your thoughts might change. It's all good, right? It is what it is. But I want to hear from you guys. What were your initial thoughts? Do you like the Techmarine? Do you like the Omnicine axe? Do you like the servo gun? Do you like the sentry guns? Do you like this new operation? I want to hear everything from you guys. All right, so let me know in the comments below what you think of everything. Again, I'll leave this gameplay running. The end is really epic, guys. So if you want, you can fast forward to the end. Otherwise, stick around, watch the video, and enjoy. Again, this is Disruption. This is the new operation. I will be live tonight, and maybe you're not seeing it on the exact day that I'm releasing it, but I will be live tonight, hopefully. So again, if you don't know, I do live streams, and every live stream I do is playing with viewers. So if you want to hop in and run with the Techmarine and you're not able to find a mission or an operation with real people, and you just get set up with bots because everyone's playing the Techmarine, hop into one of my live streams, guys. I will exclusively be using, unless you guys really want to see me use the Techmarine, I will be using other classes to give you guys the opportunity to level up your Techmarine with real people, not bots, right? So again, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Squad Viridian rallies to your side, ancient brother. Waste no time, brothers. More killing awaits us. Confirmed. Venerable Voltus, it is good to see you on the battlefield. Suppress them. Fresh magazine in. Traversal may proceed. I am glad of your presence, Tellurian.
How so? Your war gear is in perfect working condition.
If that should change, then it is good to have one with such talents as yours amongst us.
You honor me, Valius.
Reloading!
Inserting fresh magazines.
I have observed your silence, Valius. How is your morale? Strong. I would share my reflections, but I have observed you seem more. That is considerate. I try. Noted.
No turning back. Understood. Obstacle removed.
These terrible differences cannot withstand my might. We are getting closer. Find a way to join the dreadnought.
Reloading. Automatic weapon re-engaged. We interrupted the Hellspawn's critical functions. Formidable heretic warriors suppressed. Determining flight vector. The Hilldrake is leaving.
By Gilliman, the path is clear.
Traitor leader terminate. Formidable Tyranid organism terminate. Servo harness gun available. Servo gun strike in progress. The heretics are amassing their forces. Gun strike ready to deploy. Our objective lies ahead. Traversal may proceed. Let the servo gun do its job.
Sorcery for him is my focus. I'm taking it as a train barrier. You will it, Ancient. We will defend you.
The redempted dreadnought is taking fire.
Heretical treachery cannot withstand righteous ceremonies.
Minion of the
Sustaining incapacitating damage.
Brother Voltus requires time to recalibrate. Kill the attackers.
My hatred for the heretics
Sharpshooters first.
The spell returns. I am breaking through.
Sorcerer, counter its foul arcana.
Let nothing stand in my way.
Barrier down. Advance to the cathedral. Silver harness gun available. Repairing biocomponents. Rearming war gear.
I slide you back to the abyss.
Fine kill. Now we must reach the cathedral. The Omnicine.
Ultramarines, praise the Emperor!
Unknown postulator. Identify yourself.
This is Archdeacon Zonia. I am hidden inside the cathedral. Heretics stormed this sanctum and slaughtered my garrison of Cadians for their dark rituals. The Cadian troops left behind heavy explosives. Alas, they never got to use them against the archenemy.
Viridian, gather the explosive charges and place them.
Traitors told me
Sharpshooters nullify.
I will destroy any heretic who dares face me.
Demolition charge in.
Secure the explosives and place them where the structure is weakest.
Our efforts stalled the Thousand Sons advance. Mustaranic gun strike ready to deploy. Servo gun engaged. It is imperative that we place the charges. Are the explosives in place? Plant the explosive charges at once. Fresh ammunition acquired. Inserting fresh magazines. Charge has been set. Servo gun is fully operational. Set the explosives to ensure proper destruction.